Hey guys, it's Snods here. Just wanted to go over a quick video here. I know Solo Battles is coming up here on the 23rd, which is Monday. And a lot of people are going to be wondering what should they do to score Ultimate or potentially even top 100. Now in this video, I'm going to be going over current gen strategy for top 100 in Solo Battles. Next gen, I've actually only done next gen solo battles once, and that was in Madden 21. And I did get top 100, but I don't know. It's just kind of, maybe it was how 21 played. I'll definitely try 22 this year and see how it goes, but I'm definitely going to be starting out in current gen, and we'll explain that later. So real quick, I'm going to go over the stats that you'll need to score top 100. Now, if you're just looking to go ultimate, just copy a couple of the plays that I'm running here, get you a couple points, and then just chew that clock and just make sure you get the win for every single game, and you'll get ultimate every single time. But as far as the stats, if you want to get top 100, this is per game. You're going to need 500 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, 30 completions, 30 first downs, 250 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and about 5 to 10 sacks. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but we're going to be using a lot of clock management here. You only get 3 minutes a quarter, which is not a lot of time at all. So in these plays, you're going to want to make sure that you're getting out of bounds. You're going to make sure that you're calling the play at the right time, and I will get into further detail here in a moment. So we're just going to play a normal all Madden game here since there's no solo battles out yet. And we're on all Madden here on the skill level. And then for your playbook, you're going to make sure that you're on run heavy, and you can pick the Giants defense, whatever, or the 4-6, doesn't matter. But most of the time we're going to be in special teams anyway. So we're going to receive here. Excuse me. And we're going to fair catch here on the 1. That way we can get the most yards possible. And I always start out with the run here because that seems to be the hardest part for me. Strong I twins over. We're going to do PA power O first. Audible to power O. Flip the play to the right side. Motion over your fullback. And you'll have a wide open gap. Now Singletary, he's a little slow in rigs, so I probably could have got a little bit more with a normal running back. So we didn't get out of bounds, so I'm going to go ahead and call a timeout. Now I'm going to try one more time for a good rip here. PA power O, audible to power O. Flip the play to the left side. Motion your fullback over for a lead blocker. And look at all this space. Again, if this was a faster running back, he'd probably be gone here. So I ran out of bounds to save some clock. Now I have a video from earlier in my channel going over why I start out in that pass play and why I run this run play and pass play. Go ahead and check that out, and you'll master these plays perfectly. Now we're going to try to get some passing yards. Now what we do with this pass play, we only have to put A on a slant, and he'll be wide open pretty much every time. So once you get your completion, you want to get out of bounds as soon as you can. Make sure that you get your first down, and then go out of bounds. This will help you rack up some yards, save some time, and get some first downs. Now, that was a terrible play. I shouldn't have thrown that. You really don't want to throw interceptions here. You actually lose points when you do that. So, if you have an overload on the left side of the field and you don't think you're going to be able to complete that pass, either throw it out of bounds or take some rushing yards. So, another thing to note here, your play clock on the right side, the green numbers. Before you call your play, you want to make sure that that counts down to 20 seconds. I know that's how it was in 21. I don't know how it'll be in 22, but you want to make sure that that says 20 seconds. The reason why is because, say you call your play and that's at 35, right? Once you call your play, that accelerated clock will count down to 20, and 15 seconds will be deducted off of your main time down there. All right, so we get our first rushing TD. We're now on defense. I always do onside kick because you could potentially recover the ball. Most of the time you're not going to, but we onside kick because it gives us more field to deal with when we get the turnover to get some extra yards. Now, I've got a video on here on how to run the defense, but real quick, we'll just do special teams, punt 44 even, and then we're going to audible to punt safe man after the offensive quarterback calls the audible. Now, we mess it up here because I'm kind of experimenting with it. I noticed that it's a lot harder on Madden 22 this year. It's still doable, but it is harder. Audible to punt safe man. You want to bait your guy in a little bit. Now he gets the sack. Now usually he throws it right away, so I end up making an adjustment here. I end up putting Trey White over there, which is the best corner on this team, for a little more speed and just a better overall corner, so we can actually come in a little further to try to bait the quarterback to throw that ball. Now, Trey White's a little bit faster, so I have a little more confidence in him catching this pick. So now we're back on offense. I'm going to try to get some rushing yards here. We'll start out in the PA Power O. Audible to Power O, and then flip the play to the right side, and then audible your fullback. Now, another thing to note when you're running that play, you always want to flip the play first, and then motion your fullback over. The reason why, actually I don't know the reason why, but if you motion that guy over first, you cannot flip the play to the side that you want to run. Now, the reason why we're calling timeouts is because we're not getting out of bounds and we're trying to save some clock here. So, like I said before, I always do 2 to 3 running plays to get as many yards as I can. And then after that, we'll go back to passing. Now here, I end up throwing a touchdown. But what you should do is get the first down, run out of bounds, and then do the touchdown. So now we're back on defense, doing the onside kick again. It's going to be the same thing, guys. Now, here I'm actually going to show you how to do a easy sack play. You're going to go to the same spot, pump block even, then 8 up safe man. And you're going to want to use your punt returner. Bring him all the way down. This is an easy sack play. Try to time it up, run through, and get the sack. Now, this is what I do. Bring him all the way down. And you want to keep this user real active. Flick the stick in circles. Just keep him moving. If you don't, for some reason, the player will pause and he will just stop moving. For whatever reason, I don't know why. But we'll bring him all the way down. Keep him active. Do a couple circles. Now, another thing I do here is I click off of the user. For whatever reason, when you do that, the player runs way faster than if you were to user him yourself. So yeah, very easy way to get easy sacks. Now I'm going to skip offense here because I made a dummy and I threw the ball out of bounds and got an intentional grounding and got a safety. So that's okay. Nothing counts against us there. We're just going to try to get the ball back here real quick. And as you can see, Tre'Davious White has his X Factor going. I will go over what X Factors are the best to use here. I'm going to wait till a week after, though, to go over all that because I don't really know what the best abilities and X Factors are. But we're back on offense. We got the ball. It didn't hurt. Mistakes were made, and it's going to happen. So we're fine. So now we're back getting our passing yards. We end up not forcing the ball here, but I do throw a touchdown pass afterwards. The video did not record for some reason, but now we're back on defense. And we're going to take a gamble here, and we're going to try to get this ball back because I am a little behind on rushing yards, and I think Trey White's going to do a good job here. Obviously, he does, and we're going to try to get these rushing yards. All right, we're back on O. We're going to go back to the script, PA Power O, switch to Power O, flip sides, and motion. Now this is going to run way smoother once you're back on Ultimate Team because you will not have that slow running back. And we're running just fine here with a mediocre running back. So this goes to show that it can be pretty easy. I think we're going to run it one more time here. and get a nice little chunk. Now again, I'm just going to repeat. These plays are not guaranteed every single time. You're going to get stuff sometimes, especially when we get later in the year and we face those 87 overall teams. You want to be real patient with these run plays. Now we get our touchdown there finally, and now we only have 50 seconds, and we're going to do an onside kick. Remember, guys, time is key. Anything can happen. We end up getting very lucky, and we end up getting the fumble recovery on the onside kick. Now, this is all bonus right here, so you're going to want to hit on what you're struggling with. So we're struggling on the first downs and passing yards. Now, here I noticed the left side of that field is a little flooded, so that slant might be covered. So I put A on a streak to see what would happen. Sometimes they'll get wide open. I roll out here, and B ends up getting open, and you really don't want to take a risk there, but we get the touchdown. So we're back on defense again. We don't get lucky this time. I'm going to end up getting some sacks here, and we're going back to the sack method. Bring them all the way down. Make sure you're keeping him active. Click off of him. He'll fly in there, and he should get the sack. But we screwed up there. Again, guys, it's going to happen. Got to practice. But we end up running it again. Now, I didn't do it yet, but you want to switch that return man out with a corner or a safety, a defensive guy. We end up doing it now, but I should have did this way earlier. We end up putting Jordan Poyer back there. Now watch the difference here. You definitely feel like you have a little more control, I noticed. See how I keep him active? You don't want him to get stuck in that glitch that they get stuck in whenever you're holding still. But see how much faster he got in there? Definitely want to go with a safety or a corner here. Click off. Comes flying in every time. And you're stacking up sacks here. Again, you want 5 to 10 sacks. Those sacks are going to help you out big time. Now, another thing to go over, as you see, I am giving up points right here. Just wanted to throw this out there. Points do not count against you. Yards is what hurts you the most. The good thing about that sack play is when you get a sack, they lose yards. So, say you give up a 10-yard play, right? Then you run that sack play, and it's a 10-yard loss. Then you're at a wash. Then they kick a field goal. Those points don't count against you. So don't worry about points. Worry about giving up yards. You don't want to do it. So we're going to count it here. We're done. I'm just going to show you my stats where we're at. Let's see. Now, I recorded just the first half just to kind of give everyone a good idea of what to do. Second half, do the same thing, except fourth quarter, that interception play does not work. I recommend doing a quick blitz play, mid-blitz, something like that, to get a quick sack. Try to prevent as much yards as possible. Now, this is where we were with just a regs team. 35 points. Points don't really matter. It's not a big deal. Rushing yards, we're at 166. We're definitely on pace. You want to be at 250 right there. Passing yards, we're at 242. We want to be at 500 right there. We're a little under halfway, but the good thing is we're over halfway in rushing, so we'll be able to pass more in the second half. 14 first downs, which is just about halfway where we want to be. We want to be at about 30. Now, I didn't get the touchdowns, but I think we were at 3 passing and 2 rushing, if I'm not mistaken. You want to have 3 rushing touchdowns and 5 passing touchdowns. Real quick, I'll put on the screen what you need stats-wise. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this. Again, this is only for current gen. I know some of the plays do actually work on next gen as far as the run play and the pass play. But on defense, that's the struggle for next gen. The quick interception play that does not work. The sack play that does not work on next gen. Now, solos battles again coming in on the 23rd. I will be using this exact method, and I will let you guys know how I do. Now, again, I don't know what Madden 22 structure will be for solo battles, but solo battles, the stats, and pretty much everything has been the same since Madden 19, so we'll go by this first. If you guys had any questions in solo battles, let me know. Go ahead and leave a comment. I will definitely get back to you. We're going to run this method this week, see how it goes without any X factors, any abilities. I will adjust those abilities next week because training is a little expensive right now. So we're just going to run this week without all that. Again, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Appreciate you guys. Peace.